most people downplay dance a lot, and they downplay the amount of effort it takes. I mean, when I'm talking about dance, I'm specifically talking about Bharatanatyam. So it's a solo dance form, right? And people think, oh, you're just going to get up on stage and dance, and that's not entirely true. It takes so much thinking to get where you to be able to hold the audience for an hour and a half. It takes so much practice, mental stamina. Dancers try and make everything look easy, but it's not. So the effort escapes the audience. Also, a lot of the time, I don't think people understand the connection between music and dance, specifically with reference to Bharatanatyam, because everything goes very interconnected with music, with our dance. So you have to know music, you have to know poetry, literature, you have to know language. It's not an isolated art form. It's very much, you have to know theatre to be able to emote and connect. I mean, it's completely connected with all the other art forms as well. You have to have a sense of color, fashion, ideas to what will suit you, what is good for a character. You design costumes so many times. So it's very much a combination of many things, and I think people they don't look at it like that. They're not so aware. Bharatanatyam to me is an art form. It's a medium of expressing myself. It's a language through which I can express myself. It's never ending, the way you can, any art form, I suppose, gives you the leverage to explore yourself, explore various theories, various philosophies. So there's an infinite amount of depth and an infinite amount of learning that I'm so surprised every day when I learn something new in dance. So it can be so many things. It doesn't have to necessarily just be this performance art that you're looking at it as. It's a way to learn about culture, a way to experience new cultures because it takes you to different places. It's a way to experience music, a medium through which you can enjoy poetry, literature, history, because so much of it is connected with history. It's a way in which you can even influence society because you are sending across messages when you dance. So there's a lot to it. For me, it's a good performance if first and foremost the Nayika, the hero, the dancer, is effectively able to convey what she's saying. She's able to touch me, and that means that that means going beyond just acting. It means actually feeling the emotion, feeling a sense of betrayal, say when Ram says, I'm leaving you, Sita, or a sense of affection, of motherhood when you look at Krishna and call him and say, come to me, don't you want to eat some butter? So it has to be heartfelt and genuine, and that takes years and years and years of practice to be able to convince someone, first and foremost. Secondly, I think the dancer doesn't necessarily have to be thin, but I think has to be fit, dance fit. So I don't want to see a dancer who's wobbly, who's not clean with their lines, etc. And the dancer has to have a very good sense of rhythm. The dancer also has to have a good connect with music, but first and foremost with rhythm. That means that the footwork shouldn't be lagging behind the talam. It should come exactly on time, not before and after. It's a huge problem, and people don't realize how easy it is to go offbeat. When I start teaching kids, one of the things that is difficult for them is to maintain the same beat throughout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, uniformly, just maintain that beat. It's difficult. People don't realize. People will start 1, 2, 3, 4 and they'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they start increasing the speed. It's difficult to train your mind. It's difficult to train your mind to hear something and understand that whether it's going in a 4-beat cycle, or a 3-beat cycle, or a 5-beat cycle. So these are all things that, or train your mind to listen to a gap in the music and understand how many counts that gap is. It takes time and a lot of understanding.
Talk about what it is as monetarily as a career.
Oh, okay. So you, in the same way that you invest when you want to become an actor, I suppose, you spend years and years struggling, it's similar with dance. The difference is that when you hit it big with acting, there are huge returns. With dance, the returns are never going to be huge. I think with a career in Indian classical arts in general, the returns are never going to be particularly huge. So it takes a lot of investment in the initial years until hopefully one day things turn upwards. The thing is that a dancer initially, as a dancer, you cannot in your beginning years be so worried about money. The important thing first and foremost is to keep getting better as a performer, as a teacher, as an artist. And secondly, that people should get to know you and should get to appreciate your dance and your art. So I'm not ashamed to say it, because honestly I think whatever career if you're in an artistic career, you have to at some point or the other work for free. And many people have worked for free. Van Gogh never saw money in his entire life, and you know how much his paintings sell for now. So at least in my mind, making that investment is worth it. So the easiest way to make money is through taking class, but be careful. Taking class is not an easy thing, and you start taking class and many dancers forego their own practice, which you can't afford to do, because if you do that, then you become a teacher, you're not a performer anymore. So that's your call to make. Secondly, there are scholarships available, but must warn you, they are difficult to get, and the money doesn't always come. Though you got the scholarship in name, it's difficult. The money comes very late or doesn't come at all. This is a big problem that I think exists with Indian classical dance, that a lot of the events are sponsored by the government of India, and it's not always the cleanest thing. So,
can you give us an example of what you're saying? Like, something that you've seen?
So yeah, for example, there's a particular scholarship called under the Ministry of Culture for young artists. That scholarship is worth 5,000 rupees a month, which is frankly a very, very small sum for a performing artist. Then, secondly, people who have got the scholarship in 2014 till yet haven't received the money, and they're supposed to receive 5,000 rupees a month. To top it off, that the papers for the scholarship since 2014 haven't come out. So 2015, 2016, they haven't come out yet. And that is one of the few scholarships given to young performing artists under the age of 25. So that is the situation things are in. It's difficult. To be honest, I think it's a very personal choice. If I look at it, it's not that much different. I have to wear this costume, just like I would have to wear a suit or whatever corporate attire if I was going to a desk job in the office. But for some reason, I find this comfortable, liberating, and I find that constrictive. So it's a way of looking at it, I suppose. If someone was looking for financial independence, someone was looking for something different out of life as opposed to what I am, it's possible that they would find this dance attire, this makeup constricting, and find the easiness of the corporate attire, allowing them more freedom. So, when you're learning Bharatanatyam and you come from a background which is not close to it, which is what I faced, your connection with your teacher is of vital importance because she or he is the window into that world. It is through them that you really understand the dance form or understand the art form as such. So, it is important to have a very vital connection, and many times what happens is you need to give your teacher a lot of patience. He or she may not always be available to pander to your queries, etc. But you have to be really, really patient, because what is happening is that when you start dance, for a teacher, it's impossible to tell which student is going to blossom into a dancer. You spend a lot of time and investment in each student, hoping that one day they will blossom into dancers. And what happens many times is there are many other activities which students are engaged in, which even I was engaged in. There's a lot of academic pressure, extracurricular pressure, pressure on various counts. So the teacher puts in a lot of effort. Now it is up to the student to really grasp what the teacher is giving them, to think about what the teacher says, to make an effort in class, and to really bring their entire concentration.
Like at a certain age, you can no longer get into it.
Well, the longer you wait, the more difficult it will be, because whoever it may be, even if that person has the most fantastic genes, is blessed with a really good figure, no injuries, nothing, your dancing years are limited. So the later you get into it, it is definitely going to be tougher. The earlier you get into it, your body gets more and more used to it. Your body is more adaptable when you're younger. So for me, at 22, to teach my body to do something, it's easier as opposed to someone who's 30, easier than 40. So there isn't an age barrier as such, but yes, it is harder when you are older. It just means that you have to work a lot harder. That's all. I think at the end of the day, it is an art form, and for you to really be able to express yourself, you have to think and be comfortable with it. You need to give yourself time to formulate ideas, to get to know yourself and your dance better, how you want to approach it, what is unique about you. Give yourself time to understand what suits your body as well. Not everything suits everyone. In that sense, there is a lot of time that you spend on your own. You will also spend a lot of time alone traveling. There's not a lot of money, so you end up traveling alone most of the time, living out of a suitcase for many days on end. It can get very lonely. You also spend a lot of time on stage when you're alone and you can't be talking to anyone. A normal Bharatanatyam performance would be an hour and a half, during which time it's intense concentration, and it's better not to talk to, at least I perceive it as better not to talk at that time. So it does get lonely at times, and it is hard to find people who have a similar connection with dance or have a similar viewpoint sometimes.
How are they? Like the amount of effort that it takes to be a dancer?
It should, you know that you have practiced it enough when you don't need to think about the piece. You've done it enough when the piece flows, so that even if your mind is blank, even if you can't remember what's coming next, your body will remember. So it goes into muscle memory in a sense. So that is one indication. But there is no end to how much you can explore a piece. Even a particular piece, a simple piece, I do it now, it's one thing. I'll do it 10 years later, I will look at it in a different way. Even a piece which I would have picked up 2 years ago, if I look at it now, I'll look at it differently. So, in that sense, I don't know when it is that you really master a piece. It's just when are you comfortable enough to present it on stage? And the idea is that you're comfortable enough when you don't have to think about it.
Other than that, what are some physical activities that you suggest
Oh.
people keep up with?
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than dance, you'll find a lot of yoga and dance. Yoga and dance have a lot of commonality. So it's a good idea to sometimes explore yoga. I think the good thing about yoga is that it gives you the opportunity to work on your body in a way that dance may not. When you're dancing, you are looking to be perfect. You shouldn't show the effort to the audience. Your face is alive, your body is erect. With yoga, it's not necessarily like that. You work on your posture, you work on your body. So, and it's also a very good way of preventing injury. So it's a good idea to practice yoga as well with dance. Yoga gives you a lot of body awareness, so does dance, but a different kind of body awareness which is good to bring to dance. And you have to have a lot of stamina. Whatever helps you have stamina, whatever food helps you with stamina. If running helps you, run. If gymming helps you, gym. If dancing helps you, then dance. Whatever. But you have to have that stamina, and you have to treat it properly. You have to warm up and cool down before and after the dance. The only thing is that if you're looking at bettering the dance itself, only practice will help you. Yoga will help you with injuries, gymming, running will help you with stamina. But to get better at dance, you have to practice. No other way.
What advice would you give to someone who is looking towards a career?
I think when you start a career in Bharatanatyam, you'll very soon realize how hard it is, the hurdles, etc., the amount of self-doubt that you'll have. I think you have to believe in yourself and always ask yourself, why am I dancing? If you come up with an answer which satisfies you, continue dancing. If it's not making you happy, if it's not enough, then maybe start thinking of something else. Yeah, there are many times you have doubt. You're not earning as much as you would like. There are times when you go through which you're relatively free, like now, you don't have a performance, or when you're injured and you can't do much. So it's a difficult time to ride through. Financial instability is one thing which really plagues me, because it makes it difficult to do a lot of things which normally wouldn't be difficult, like get a credit card, for instance. But at the end of the day, you're not doing it for money. So if you just have to keep asking yourself that, is what I'm doing worth it? Would I rather give it up to earn money, more money? So balance it out. Or the other option is, there are dancers who have managed to find a way of balancing out another profession with this. Personally, I am not able to do that because I've always been someone who's been very, very focused on one particular thing. So if I do something, I have to do it to the fullest of my capability and focus only on that. Otherwise, I can't do it. I can't switch between different things. So for me, I can't do that. But yeah, it does plague you. You just have to find the answers within yourself.